Hello and welcome to another wonderful class. We are supposed to be writing our biology practicals after the summer break, so we want to quickly look at what we are likely going to be seeing during our biology class. Okay, so we are likely going to be writing. We are writing our Neco practicals after the cellular. So let's quickly look at the specimens, all the specimens that we're going to be looking at. So this is our platform, educateafricans.com. Once you are there, click on all courses. You will see biology. Once you go to biology, you click. Make sure you're logged in as a student so that you can be able to open the subject. So this is our biology, and these are the different topics. When you scroll down to the last topic, you're going to see where we have Neco 2021 biology practicals. Click on it, then you see this. You click here, Neco 2021 biology practicals, specimens and explanation. Then that is how you get to open up to this. Okay, and these are the topics in your normal biology for you to read and pass your exams. Okay, so hey, please, I'm having class. Okay, so please let's take a look at the various specimens. So we have specimen A to P, specimens A to P. So let's start with the first statement, the first specimen. Today we're going to be looking at those specimens, looking at their diagrams. Then and possibly tomorrow or next week we now look at the functions and their relation to other things in the body. Okay, so in the axial skeleton, you can see these specimen A, which is the atlas vertebra. So you can look at these. This is the atlas vertebra. You can see the first vertebra there. That is the atlas. So this is the diagram. You can see the dens, the foramen, serum, the transverse process, the vertebral canal at the middle, the lamina, and other parts of it. This is the superior view, and this is the lateral view. So you can see where you can locate this in the normal skeleton, just at the beginning, just supporting the skull and the neck. And when you go down, you see the thoracic vertebra. Thoracic, you can see, let's look at the explanation. The atlas is the topmost vertebra. It is the topmost, the topmost vertebra with the axis. So the axis is just below it. It forms the joint connecting the skull and the spine. So it is the atlas vertebra that connects the skull and the spine. So it is the topmost, the first. You can see it here as is indicated in this red with red color. Then if you go down immediately after the axial, then you have the thoracic spine. So you can see here the thoracic spine is the second segment of the vertebral column, located between the cervical and the lumbar vertebrae. Okay, now it consists of 12 vertebrae. 12, you can count 12, which are separated by invertebral disc along with the sternum and ribs. The thoracic spine forms part of the thoracic cage. Okay, so this is the thoracic vertebrae. You can see the diagrams. So take note of the diagram. It has the spine, it has the lamina, the transverse process, the superior articulate process. The spinal cord goes in here and talk about the body. So take note of the diagram, the different views, the rib facets, the body, the rib facet. So these are different views of it. So you can see, say you have a Himalaya. This is where you can look at the thoracic vertebra. Very important. Then we'll look at the scapula. The scapula, also called the shoulder blade. So the scapula is also called the shoulder blade. So the thoracic vertebra is found at the back here. So the scapula, also called the shoulder blade, either of the two large bones of the shoulder girdle invertebrates. Okay, so this is a typical diagram of the scapula. So you can see the humerus, which is the upper arm bone. You can see the coracoid process, the scapula itself. This is the scapula itself. And this joint here that connects this cavity here is known as the glenoid cavity. You're supposed to know how to lay out this diagram. It's very, very important. So the scapula, also called the shoulder blade, either of the two. So you see that. Now we'll talk about the lumbar vertebrae, very important, the lumbar vertebrae. So the lumbar spine consists of 5 vertebrae.
There are some transfer there, they say it's interrupted, cannot complete. Will I try?
Before. What are they transferring?
I don't know. On Microsoft.
Okay, just leave it, I'll check. So we have the lumbar vertebrae just down here. The lumbar vertebrae spine contains 5 vertebrae labeled L1 to L5, okay, which progressively increases in size going down the lower back, okay. The vertebrae are connected with joints at the back to enable bending and twisting of the spine. So you see that the lumbar actually helps the bending and twisting. You can see it here. So it's just down here after the thoracic vertebrae. So these are the various views of each. So that is specimen D. Specimen E is the potter, and the potter is simply a small jar used for collecting insects. It has 2 tubes. One goes into the mouth, so you put one into your mouth and use that, whereas the other tube is close to the insect, so that once you suck, the insect gets collected inside this tube. So one goes to your mouth, so you can apply suction, and the other goes over the insect. So this one goes over the insect, this one to your mouth. You have the lid, you have the plastic container. So this you can use in collecting insects. So you're going to be asked something like this. Specimen E is used for what? So you should know what specimen E is at the first place before you can know what it can be used for. So very important. Then you have the sweeping net. Very important. The sweep net or the sweep nets are study nets, often with a canvas bag, that are used to collect insects and other vertebrates from long grass. So you can use this to collect insects and other invertebrates, not vertebrate, invertebrates over long grass. So you can see this one is also used to collect insects, but you can see this one has other uses apart from just insect. And this you can use to collect insects over long grass. So this one you can use it to collect insects that are closer to you. This one can, because of the long handle, you can see this metal handle over very long glass. You can easily use it to scoop insects. Very important, the sweep nets. Then we'll talk about the Tradescantia fruits. This plant bears daisy-like yellow centered white or yellow flowers with 3 toothed ray florets. The leaves are toothed and generally arrowhead shaped. Okay, so this is the fruit. So take note of the fruit. That is where you are supposed to be very careful about. So you can see these diagrams, like you just have to know the diagrams. Like once you're given the specimen, if you're trying to draw the specimen the way it is visually when you're looking at it, you might not get the actual diagram. So that's why it's good that you beforehand already know how you can sketch this. So you try to make rough sketches of this on piece of paper and try labeling, because with the actual specimen, when you're looking at it, getting the diagram might be a little bit difficult for you. So you need to study the diagram beforehand, and take note of how you can label. So that is very, very important. So let's keep going forward. Now let's look at specimen H, known as the tadpole. So a tadpole is the larval stage in the life cycle of an amphibian. So those amphibians, animals that live both on inside water and on ground. So the tadpole is actually their larval stage. Most tadpoles are fully aquatic, though some species of amphibian have tadpoles that are terrestrial. Okay, tadpoles have some features that may not be found in adult amphibians, such as lateral lines, gills, and tails. So these lateral and gills and tails are normally found in tadpoles. So you should know this tadpole, that this is the diagram, and know how to draw it. So you have this transient gill, this is the tail, this is the tail muscle. Those are important things. This is the eye and the adhesive gland. So you should know this diagram and know how you can be able to label them, know them, label them, very important, so that even if they are drawn for you and these arrows are taken out, you should quickly be able to label this diagram, okay? So let's look at the Spirogyra filaments. So the Spirogyra filaments are slippery and they float in large masses, okay? Spirogyra is a genus of green algae that belong to the order Zygnementales. These free-flowing filamentous algae are characterized by ribbon-shaped chloroplasts that are arranged in a helical manner inside the cell. So very important. Spirogyra is a very important organism. You're supposed to know about the Spirogyra. So this is a typical diagram of a Spirogyra. Then when you get one of it, so you have Spirogyra, two agar filaments are magnified. Okay. Whereas in B, you have the cell highly magnified to show the details. So this is like one of these. So you have your cell wall, very important. You have the cytoplasm inside here. You have the pyrenoids. You have the nucleus at the center. You have the cytoplasmic strand, very important, cytoplasmic strand. Then you now have the chloroplast, very important. Chloroplast is very important for photosynthesis. So this is the Spirogyra filament. You need to know how to get it drawn, very important. So you just draw, just like normal cell, indicate your nucleus at the middle, then take this strand, this up and down strand represent the chloroplast. So inside it you have the pyrenoid, then in between the strands you have the cytoplasm. You also have the cytoplasmic strand. So take note, very basic thing that you need to study in order for you to know how to draw this effectively. So we have other specimens like the okra fruit. I hope you know what okra fruit is. The mango fruit, a thick, a bean weevil, cactus plant, water lettuce, and soja termite. In the next class we are going to be having tomorrow on Monday, or these other specimens, I'm going to also put together their drawing and get to explain to you what they are. Then we'll also get to know more about the functions of these various parts of the skeleton. Very, very important. You need to know how to draw them, know the work they do, and be able to acquaint yourself with the likely questions that are going to be asked in a typical biology practicals. And those are some of the things that we are going to be putting together for you in the 2 subsequent classes that we're going to be having prior to the exam. And the exams are coming for this very biology practical. You're going to be having it after the summer break. Okay, so you have a whole lot of time for you to practice effectively in order for you to deliver well in your practical. So like I said before, all the subjects that you're doing, we've already done something on their practicals. To get to know or get to see what we've done on them, just similar to what we have here. We did that for chemistry and it was very useful for our students. So once you get to our homepage, educateafricans.com, if you are following us on WhatsApp, we normally share the link to this lecture so that you can join the Zoom class and be able to ask questions real time, one-on-one as I'm teaching. You are asking the question. So this is the platform we are using, educateafricans.com. Once you come to this very platform, the first thing you're supposed to do is to click on register as a student so that you register and be able to log in so that you can see the lectures. Very important. And once you do that, you can click on all courses and you get to the courses that you want to check out and you'll be able to see those past questions that will summarize already for you in an easy way for you to just get to and solve and pass. Those that checked out our chemistry on, it was very, very useful to them. It's all likely questions that are very, very close to what they're expected to give during the exams, okay? So these are the courses, accounting, mathematics, all of them. You go there, you learn a whole lot. Make sure you're logged in. That's when you'll be able to open up these, okay? Now, once you get to this site, you can also, if you need the waec CBT app, you can download it, jamb CBT app, everything you need. If you need past questions, we are releasing our past questions. Our past questions are exclusively made. The content is so strong. We give you the answers and we give you how we arrived at the answers. So these are the past questions here. You can see this is jamb biology. This is jamb chemistry. Scroll down. This is waec marketing. You scroll down. This is jamb biology. So we are releasing them as we are working. We are putting them up there. So please, you can get them for yourself. It's something else. It's so different from what you have already. So different from what you have already. We've done market survey. There's nothing like this in the market already. So get them, past questions, very well explained. You see the answers, you see them explained. You see the reason why we picked such an answer as being the answer. So they are there, all of it, very, very effective. And as time goes on, we're going to fill up everywhere with these past questions. So we're doing a whole lot of research, getting to give you the best thing that you need for you to pass your exams effectively. Okay. So those are that for past questions. So you can always you can also order for our flash drive that has our lectures. So you simply call my phone number. You can also send me a WhatsApp in order to join the WhatsApp. Send me a WhatsApp hi on WhatsApp to join our WhatsApp groups. If you need a flash that has our lectures and past questions, call this number +234 70671 62698. That is the number to call. You can view our YouTube channel. That is where we post most of our recordings. This is the link to the YouTube channel. This is the link to our Facebook page and other social media connects. Okay. So I'm going to quickly click on all courses and show you how you can access the biology that we just did now. So once on our platform Educate Africa, click on all courses. That is if you've already registered as a student and you're logged in. Then you scroll down, you're going to see all the subjects. So the subject we are looking at now is biology. You can see this biology here. That is the biology we are looking at. So you click on it. So once you've clicked on it, you scroll down. So once you scroll down, you're going to be seeing all the topics. So we started with the introduction to biology. This is detailed. You have both the video format and textual form of these lectures. You click there, you can play. Let's say now you click on this introduction to biology. You're going to see me teach, and you can also take notes, take a textual note. So you can see this the video. So once you click on this video, you're going to start having the lecture as if you're in a class. So this is virtual schooling, virtual classroom setup. Then you can also have textile part of it. What is biology? Biology is the study of living organisms. What are living organisms? You should know what they are. Biology is from two Greek words, bio and logos, meaning life and discourse. You have two major classifications, plants and animals, and the studies are botany and zoology respectively. So if you come down, you're going to see characteristics of living things. So if you click on it, you're going to see another video explaining what characteristics of living things are. And you're going to also get the texture from these are characteristics of living things: movement, nutrition, respiration, irritability, adaptation, and the rest. So you can see it here. This is also me explaining it in a video format. So this is a comprehensive platform for learning. So if you now scroll down, you can see all the topics that you need. We research from your curriculum, your syllabus, so covered as many topics as possible. This central nervous system, variation in population, nervous, reproductive system, genetics and science of heredity, ecosystem, climate, community, and overcrowding. So once you scroll down very well, you're going to see biology roundup, where we rounded up, we did past questions and the rest, and we're putting more past questions under these as well. Finishing them, you're going to be seeing it because we use them to revise. Even when you be writing your waec, this is the best platform for you to prepare with. So if you come here now, you see Neco 2021 biology practicals. So you click on it, then you click on this. So this is exactly what we are going to be having when we have your waec practical too. We are going to come here in all the subjects we have, all the subjects where you do practical, the science subject. You're also going to have waec 2021 practical. But this is Neco 2021 practicals for biology. So once you click on it, it's going to now open up. Okay, you see it has opened up, and you can now see these are the specimens. So you check out the specimens that they gave you in school. Specimen A is the atlas vertebra. This is the diagram. This is where the atlas vertebra is located for human being. If you're checking out for human being, you check out specimen B is thoracic vertebra. This is where the thorax for different organisms. It's not just for human being, but that's likely place you're gonna see. You can see this long spine for this. So take note. This is the diagram for this thoracic. The thoracic is the second segment, whereas the atlas is the topmost vertebra. So you can see the definition. I said in subsequent classes, we are going to learn about their functions. This is the scapula, also called the shoulder blade. You can see shoulder blade, very important. In various organism vertebrates, you can see them. And this is the lumbar vertebrae, it's down towards the hip. It helps in bending and twisting movement, very important. This is the diagram, very long neural spine. You can see this. Take note of the sketch. Study the diagram, like I said. If you're going to be drawing this with the physical one that you're given in the lab, you might not be able quickly be able to know how to lay it out on a paper. But if you've seen the diagram already on a paper, you know how to lay it out and as well number effectively. Then you talk about the potter, which is the specimen F, is simply a small jar for collecting insects. It has two to one is to the mouth, you suck from here, place this one close to the insect enters from here. You can use this to get insects that are closer, or if the insects are on long grass, very long, you can simply use the sweep net. The sweep net is a sturdy net, often with a canvas bag, and they are used to collect insects and other invertebrates. You can see how it is very long metal handle. Then you can scoop in your insects or other invertebrates inside that. Then you talk about the treated fruit. Take note of how you can quickly sketch this treated fruit from that is like yellow centered, white or yellow flower. Then you talk about the tadpole. The tadpole is simply the larval stage in the life cycle of amphibians. So amphibians, animals that live in both water and animals that are both aquatic and terrestrial. So you can see that this is the diagram, very important. You will have to know how to locate the eye, the transparent gill, the tail moxel, the tail fin. So these are the major things you need to know about this diagram. You have to be able to quickly sketch it and label accordingly. Then you talk about the Spirogyra filaments, which are slippery and float in large masses. So this is a typical diagram of a Spirogyra. You need to know if you are told to label or identify the works. So you see at the middle here, you have the way you see the way it is laid out. The nucleus is here, and these strands are simply the cytoplasm. Then in between these strands, you have the cytoplasm. These strands are simply the chloroplast. And in between them, you have the cytoplasm, very, very important. And then you have the cell wall. So take note of how this is laid out. Then you have other specimens like specimen J, okra fruit, K, mango fruit, Celtic, M, bean weevil, and cactus plant, or water lettuce, peas, soja termite. So in subsequent classes, we're going to also lay out all these other specimens and explain to you how likely that you're going to see them in your exam. So take note of these. So every of these things, they are already on our platform, educateafricans.com. At your own time, just click on them, study this diagram, try drawing them, try identifying the similarities and difference in them, so that it becomes easier for you to identify the specimen. Whenever you see the specimen, you should be able to know that this is the specimen you're seeing. If you see an atlas vertebrae, you should know, and you should know the function, because you can see that it's here, it forms as a joint. It forms as a joint connecting the skull and the spine. You can see it here, skull and the spine, and the atlas vertebrae connects that. So that affects the shape, because the shape has to be in such a way as to connect to other parts of the axial skeleton that are surrounding it. You talk about the thoracic vertebrae, you have to know the location. The second segment of the vertebral column, located between the cervical and the lumbar vertebrae. The lumbar is the last part that connects to the hip. So it consists of 12 vertebrae, this thoracic, which are separated by invertebrates along the sternum and along with the sternum and the ribs. The thoracic spine form part of the thoracic cage. So they form this cage. Here you have your lungs and everything. So take note, it has this long spine, the lamina. Take note of this diagram, it's very, very important. And the scapula, very important, also called the shoulder blade. Another word for scapula, shoulder blade. So it's very, very important. You can see the scapula here itself. See the glenoid cavity that enables the connection between it and the humerus, which is the upper arm bone. Take note of that. Take note of that. Then you talk about the lumbar vertebrae that is just close to the hip. It consists of 5 vertebrae and it progressively increases in size, going down the lower back. The lower back. And the vertebrae are connected with joints at the back to enable bending and twisting of the spine. This helps to bend and twist your spine. The lumbar vertebrae, that's the function. So take note, you can see the sketches, take note of these very long neural spine. Take note of all these in the diagrams. And like I said before, you have the portal that you can use to fetch insects that are very close. It's simply a small jar for collecting insects. Have the sweep net that has a canvas back and used in collecting insects and invertebrates over long grass. So if what you're picking is it's not very close, you can use the sweep net instead of using these porter. So take note of that. Traders we have talked about this. I've talked about all this. So that is very, very important. So study that. In subsequent classes, we are going to go detailed. And we're going to go into details after. Now we've taken our time to study the know the statement, identify the specimens given. So we'll take a detailed study into them in preparation for our biology practicals after summer. So until then, see you when I see you. Thank you. God bless.